you are already better than 99% of the people your age if you can just take control of your habits. If you do this successfully, you are on your way to becoming the person that you crave to be. But if you don't, you'll be stuck with the same shitty experience of life. I managed to take control of my habits when I was just 13 years old, and I'm going to show you what worked for me and what I wish I had done a lot sooner. I'll start with the superficial stuff and we'll move on all the way down to the core changes. Whatever you see in quotation marks are things which I actually implemented at the time, and the other stuff are just things which I think would be good if you do in your stage. The first thing is the desperation. What is your pain? I had a very clear sense of pain because I managed to do it when I was 13. So that is something about me which isn't there in other people, and I think one of the factors was the desperation, the pain that I had in my own life. I had a lot of insecurities. Like, I felt that I was on the bottom of the social hierarchy, that I wanted to be more attractive with people, I wanted to be more charismatic, I wanted to make people like me. I just had this like internal insufficiency, and I would just go along social interactions with this neediness, and I just felt like shit. I had a lot of fears I couldn't stand up, and that insults, that the things which bothered me the most, that was my biggest motivation to take on this journey. I had the desperation, and I had people who showed the carrot and the stick to that desperation. I had some good leaders, and whatever I'm saying now is like the base stuff, and then we can go on with the journey. The leaders, like people like Hamza, people like the self-improvement leaders, and who were like, if you want to become more charismatic, if you want to become more attractive, if you want to be this like high value man, you need to do all these good habits, and then you become better, and that just like made my mind, made me crave, made me like go after it. People like David Goggins, if you read his book Can't Hurt Me, you will get like a lot of motivation, a lot of drive. You see him with his traumas and you are like fired up. The anger. When I was in the state of like, I can't do anything, when you're in powerless states, anger can give you a lot of power, rage can give you a lot of power, desperation can give you a lot of power. But later, those are the things that will hold you back. But at the starting stage, those can give you a lot of power. And that's when I took the first step. The first step was changing my environment. And this is where you can get the lot of the noob gains, because your behavior is a function of the person and their environment. The person is a lot harder to change, especially at your level. The environment, on the other hand, is like way easier to change. So what I did is that I just did a dopamine detox, the 7-day dopamine detox challenge with all the hype and everything, because I had that dissatisfaction that I couldn't do anything, I couldn't learn the skills, I couldn't take action, and my life just remained the same even though the time just kept passing. So I did the dopamine detox. I think that was my motivation, and that did not change anything, that did not change the core self, but it was a start. And I wish I just leveraged my environment more, because after that initial dopamine detox where I installed the blockers, I kind of did it and everything, I still remained the same until I went on months and months of training, of mental damn training. Just like 6 months, 6-7 months of mental training, of training my willpower, listening to Hamza, listening to David Goggins, training my mind to be able to resist the temptations. When I feel the trigger, I feel the temptation, I feel the urges, I still choose not to do it. And then I kept, like with one of my addictions, I just kept a habit tracker. I just obsessed over progress, and you want to get to a stage where it just becomes a part of your identity, a part of who you are as a person. Because this is the journey of training. And don't just get frustrated because it doesn't work out, because it's hard. That's like telling, if you go to the gym and then you work out for a few sets and it's like, oh no bro, my muscles are sore, I don't think this is for me. Dude, if you've been doing a bad habits for 10 times a week, like you watch 1 hour of television at least every single day, and you just manage to go one day without watching it, and then you relapse, That's the best progress you have made in the last few months. The game of willpower. And the next one is awareness. Like Hamza says this, right? If you meditate a lot, you can get this awareness where you have the trigger in front of you, but yes, you have the awareness of your goals and the person that you want to be, so that you say no. A lot of that is willpower, but that awareness, like meditation, it did not help me that much. But recently, what I've been noticing is that if I open the phone to learn something and I just get distracted, I'm a lot more mindful of the things that I want to do. Like the things like, okay, I shouldn't be spending my time like this. And every time I go back, I positively reinforce that. I'm like, damn, I actually figured it out. I actually took control of in that moment. And what's causing this awareness recently is this clear idea of my purpose. And the purpose is just this clear idea that I want to become a sort of so and so person. I want to become a more authentic person. I want to create a good business, and I know what are the number one tasks and activities for that. I know okay, I have to do these stuff, and then when I just had the clear idea that in the next 3 years I wanted to do this, when that clarity came into my mind, it was a lot easier for me to just go back on this. If I'm indulging in with my friends and everything in a conversation which I know is pretty useless, I step away from it. I'm noticing myself doing this a lot more because I'm getting in touch with the direction of the kind of person that I could be. Imagine who you could be and then aim single-handedly at that. And another thing with the environment that I wish that I did a lot more is using factors like people, using factors like accountability buddies, calling a friend when being I'm going to do this, and if I fail to do this, I'm going to give you money. I just did that recently, and it's amazing. And the last part, and this is why we get to the deep stuff. I don't think this is working. This ran out of ink, is the core changes. If you're watching this far into the video, you can probably relate to that, right? This void inside of you, this insufficiency inside of you. And you're just going on to self-improvement, to just to do something about it, to go and change it, to go and do something. The external stuff aren't really going to change the stuff inside. And if I stop all the work, if I stop all your distractions, I just stop you in the moment right now with your experience of life, and I asked you, how are you doing? And you had to give me an honest answer, not the bullshit one, the honest answer. What would you tell? What would be the honest answer? If I had to come into your body and experience your sensations, experience your state of mind, your emotions, the sensation, everything, how do you feel? How would I rate it? And it's even now if I tune into it, it won't be the best because I'm still on this journey. And the external things that you go out and you get with life, the validation, the good moments with the people that they are interested in you, you're interested in them, you're having a blast, that won't change how you feel with yourself. And part of the reason that your brain keeps looping on to the bad habits is that it's trying to numb itself. You're trying to numb yourself from what's really going on inside, the real sensations. So take some time. This is a huge process, I'll cover it in my channel, everything. But for now, you can just do an exercise where a few times in your day, you just stop everything and you do a checkout. You feel your body, your chest and stomach, what are the sensations there? And whatever comes up, you just stay with that and you experience it for a few minutes. Do it a few times in a day. Check up on yourself and bring more awareness to the stuff that's going on inside, because that's the desperation that's been driving you the entire time. And when you focus on these stuff, when you start making progress on this and you start taking action on this, you start making real progress. And I'll put on a video where I show you how to make more of this real progress. So click on that and I'll see you there. Don't forget, your habits determine the extent to which you can take control of your life. So I'm watching you from afar and I'm rooting for you. Take action. Peace.